because Froggen had a big run of the early game in that lane and made some great plays for his team. But we have swapped sides. We're in now for game number 2. Echo Fox are up a game, as you can see. But we'll see what adaptations we have here, at least in the draft, to kick things off. I don't think we'll get too much change. We're actually going to start it off with Nidalee, which is very normal, but Echo Fox actually going to take away Slushie's LeBlanc.
Yeah, so a nod towards Slushie, a little bit of a respect in there. LeBlanc, not something that's been huge in the meta just lately, but still definitely a very powerful character.
Yep, super solid as Echo, another very standard ban, will get taken off. I wonder if Kindred will make her way into the ban list as per usual.
You'd have to think so, but at the same time, it depends what Fox is willing to trade. If they may be okay, giving up that first pick Kindred if they can get a second pick Swain or something like that. So you can have different strategies on this. If you're saying, hey, we're cool as long as we get Swain or Vlad, you can actually force them into banning it if they're not okay with that trade.
Well, Ryze actually banned for Echo Fox, so continuing to ban away mid lane is there. But Ryze certainly a powerful pick that's commonly banned in games that we've seen recently. 12 seconds though for Phoenix 1 to lock down this final ban. And of course they'll be on blue side, so we'll see what they consider for the next one. Vladimir, again, makes a lot of sense. We saw him a few times yesterday. Won both games that he played in, I believe. Don't really want to give it... Oh, actually lost on CLG's side. I forgot.
Yeah, but definitely a really strong champion, and as we kind of talked about, similar to the things that Swain can do as well. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Froggen happy to play this also. And now it's up to Fox. What do they want to take off the table? What are they willing to give over right now? And it is going to be that Kindred ban, so not willing to make that bet, but this does leave P1 with the chance to actually take Swain away if they want to do it, and they're going to.
This is almost the exact same draft in a lot of ways from game 1 here. This time P1 are on the blue side, and they'll get the Swain for themselves. Once again, can be flexed mid or top. Zig had a good looking Trundle game, but couldn't quite get in position to split push to victory. Echo Fox though, gonna look to take some powerful picks of their own.
Yeah, and Lucian was one of the ones that was banned out last time around, not on the table this time. So that's going to mean Keith gets that kind of S-tier ADC. He went off on Sivir. This is an even more powerful individual carry. So we'll be very exciting to see what Keith can do on this.
And he sort of mentioned it as well. Rek'Sai, sort of the best jungler in that next tier below Kindred in Italy. So Hard's going to take that one away. No Kha'Zix needed this time around. As Slushie, I think just having some fun.
Yeah, I think he's kind of strolling Froggen here, hovering the Anivia. But Anivia is actually an exceptionally strong champion right now. It hasn't really been seeing pro play, but as far as solo queue goes, it's one of the highest win rate. Champions has been very high win rate for a long time. It's really, really strong, and at some point, I would not be surprised to see Froggen busting that out. But it'd be fun also to see if Slushie's actually willing to lock this in, what Froggen's answer would be.
I mean, that's pretty bold. But we'll have to see. Like you said, is certainly a strong pick that you can consider. We'll swap over to Braum for the time being. No, Graves and Braum actually the picks for P1, and Froggen gives it right back to him.
Yeah, it's my turn now, so he's going to be hovering it. Maybe a bit better chance that he's going to lock it in for real, but we haven't been seeing it, so certainly not guaranteed by any means. And I don't think that Froggen is going to be willing to give up his counter pick for mid lane because they are red side. And I think that's really going to be what their last pick is. So very likely going to see support and top laner picked up here, unless they feel it's super important to have that counter pick for KFO.
Well, KFO played Marco last game. Super solid, so probably doesn't need to worry too much. As Echo Fox taking their time with these next few picks. I think want to try and be as flexible as possible. Because again, they have a counter pick option available. So don't want to give too much away if they can help it. Are going to have to pick up at least one of the solo laners here, so looks like they'll just keep it safe and sound perhaps. 3 seconds left. Victor and Zyra actually look to be the lock-ins here, and they will be confirmed.
So they will be looking for that top lane counter pick, or at least just to want to kind of see where the Swain is going, I guess, before they do lock this in. And Froggen kind of saying that he's confident playing into whatever he has to as Victor. Victor has incredible wave clear, higher sustained DPS in the team fights. In combination with Zyra, you have two very, very powerful mages, both fantastic in team fights, going to be bringing a lot of damage. So their team comp already looking really, really good. And now we're going to see the rounding out of the composition for P1. Slushie obviously loves to play those assassins. Ahri is a possibility. We'll have to see if he's going to opt into that. And we still do need to see what their last pick will be.
Well, not too long left for P1 to try and lock these in. 15 seconds remaining in this particular draft. Certainly curious to see that Zyra seeing a whole lot of attention from supports. We talked about range supports being good. Zyra seems to be one that people do want to take early and often. But Sivir and Fizz are actually going to round things out. So I assume that's Fizz top. Swain mid, but you really never know.
It could be either. It just depends how they feel these matchups are going to be. I would assume that it's going to be Fizz top, but Swain is actually really good in the top lane as well, and depending on what the last pick is, Slushie may feel okay to play an assassin into Froggen and try to carve out that advantage for himself.
Well, I like it. Again, saying that, you know what? You don't get the counter pick. We get the counter pick.
Yeah.
Trying to stay as ambiguous as possible with their solo lanes. Okay, further, it does need a champion to take into battle. So we'll see what Echo Fox select for him.
The Maokai again. It wouldn't surprise me based off how well he played on it last time. 100% kill participation, actually out damaging at the other team's Azir, I think. He actually did more damage than Froggen as well. He pretty much had an incredible game, and if it wasn't for the even better game from Keith, he probably would have got player of the game. So I think KFO played great, and we'll keep going. Ooh.
I like it.
Ooh.
Taking a carry into the top lane. We saw it yesterday.
Here we go.
Did not win, unfortunately. Darshan again taking that for CLG in their game 2 against TSM. But she's kind of back. We saw this yesterday a bit. Feels like Fiora maybe is rotating herself back into the metagame.
Yeah, so for now, Slushie's going to be sitting on that Fizz. They could be waiting till the end of their time to actually swap it around. Throw your team off a little bit, maybe something like that. But it's actually looking like it is going to be Slushie on the Fizz. Froggen expects so as well, as he has selected Exhaust as his other summoner spell. And this top lane matchup is going to be so important. The solo lanes really in general, because if a Fizz gets ahead, if Fizz gets out of control, it can be pretty disgusting. I mean, especially with squishy targets like the Zyra, like Froggen as well. And I mean, even Fiora, if Fiora doesn't have her parry up, you can pretty much one-shot her. So this is an assassin that could go wild if Slushie does get going. But at the same time, I mean, if KFO gets too ahead of Zig because of early ganks, that's going to be pretty tough too. Fiora is so hard to stop.
It's a big change there from KFO. Went from playing, the very team-oriented with great TPs and good kill participation on the Maokai to a split push and carry. Kind of what Zig wanted to do in the last game. So kind of curious to see how that works out. But let's see if the fan vote is going to budge at all in this one. Contribute to the conversation with hashtag FOXWin, hashtag P1win as we'll get ourselves into game number 2. A lot of changes, I will say, between these two comps. I mean, obviously, Slushie's in as a sub, so that's a change there for P1 over on their side. But I think Echo Fox taking a vastly different composition in. And if we looked at Keith last game on Sivir, he's now got arguably the best AD carry in the game.
Yep, and he's going to be up against that Sivir. Obviously, Braum Sivir pretty strong, but it's not going to match up too well against the Zyra. That range support, especially one with as much poke as Zyra, is pretty frustrating to play against. At the same time, if you look over to the jungle matchup, you have to kind of give that early edge in the 1v1-2 Sentinel on the Graves. I think Graves definitely is a strong duelist in the jungle, out-farms the Rek'Sai, generally speaking. So that's something they have to watch out for. But obviously, Rek'Sai has incredible ganking potential, and P1 is looking to do some sneaky stuff. They're actually moving their whole team up into the top lane, and they may actually want to try to wait in a bush and see if they can pick up a funny first blood.
Well, KFO knows someone's there. He's probably guessing.
Oh,
sorry,
God,
KFO sees Zig.
Looking around behind him.
But obviously, Zig is probably seeing KFO.
So the ward is down, and he's actually, KFO is going to be fine, as he does see them all sneaking around. But that was actually pretty clever, because had KFO not gotten that ward down, and if he was just kind of waiting in that tri-brush, he could have been caught off surprise, and that could have been a quick first blood. So nice adaptation, but they may be meeting up as Fox is stacking up in this side brush, and this could be an explosive level 1.
Nice, Slushie going in. Sentinel, the only one snared up, but that's it. That's the flash out from Sentinel, and he will be safe. Big could not get more than one in that snare. That was unfortunate.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate, but still, you're going to be happy to get the flash for free. That's already a great start, and Fox isn't done yet. They're still kind of just sitting around the side here, looking to try to get something done. And Slushie's going to have to level E first. Gay has to flash too.
Yeah, that's actually a lot of summoners burnt early for P1. Echo Fox pretty much walk in and get pressure and burn nothing of note.
It feels so bad if you're Phoenix 1. You're already down 1-0 in the series, and now you're down a couple of summoners to start the game. And it's like, oh man, that is not what you wanted. And one thing for them though, I think they did actually want to avoid the 2v2, and it's looking like they're going to be able to do so, as Mash is down in that bot lane. So we'll see how this all does work out. Fiora definitely going to struggle in the 1v2. Zig is going to have a much better time, can last hit, with the Q from range if he does decide to sit there, but he's just going to join up. They're going to be doing some buddy jungling.
Yep. Finally joins in, maybe gets 1 or 2 creeps, but he'll join up now as Big actually moves into harass. Good bird though, doing huge damage there to the Zyra.
Great bird, actually. That's fantastic.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, blue buff goes over, so no shenanigans. He's got both of the small ones there as well, so No dice there for Big on any stealing, but again, just being annoying more than anything else. And looks like we'll move over to the other side of the jungle just to be safe, because we are going to complete this lane swap now and start off in a very similar fashion to game 1.
Yep. And we do see Hard is kind of just solo jungling over by himself for now. KFO has joined up in the top lane to help out this push. And, you know, we're going to see Hard actually picking up quite a lot of early CS. He's actually pretty ahead of Sentinel already. Sentinel, you know, is a camp or two behind. Just because of the pathing and just because of how the game started out. They have to be a little bit more conservative, not having the flash, etc. And Sentinel, you know, he's saying, oh, this is my side of the map. I'll go pick up this blue, but it's already been cleared out there by Hard. So a nice little advantage for him.
Yep. So Sentinel not going to get anything out of Echo Fox's jungle. Hard already making sure he's cleared through that. Once again, though, should just have these towers falling down. I don't think P1 are going to mess it up this time after a bit of a fumble in game 1. So it looks like towers are just falling. Echo Fox going to take this one down. KFO will collect its gold. You can already see same amount of members there on the bottom side for Phoenix 1. So I imagine we'll get the same variation we get, which is the standard one, where they just, you know, kind of shake hands and go trade turrets. But we'll see. Maybe the teams do want to mix things up here in the second one.
And P1 is going to do it slower once again, though. They did actually get it one wave later. They tried to finish it off, weren't able to do so. And now, as a result, I actually think Zig is, we'll see how he can do on the bounce if all these minions are actually going to die down. But he doesn't want to kill this off before the minions die and kind of auto-attacked a little bit too much, actually. So it may not bounce towards him just as much as he would want, but it's going to be really close and actually ends up looking like it's pretty much perfect.
Yeah, it's nicely calculated there from Zig. So he's able to take that one down and move that wave back towards him. We'll collect what CS he can before he likely has to leave the area.
Yeah.
Although Keith and Big are actually staying in that top side for now. Looks like protecting KFO is wanting to get some of that farm. In fact, this is real tricky.
Yeah, they're calling the lane swap here, and they're expecting Mash to come up, and Mash doesn't have any idea about this, and he is actually playing it pretty safe, cheating to the far left side of the map, but if he goes any further, he's going to get dove on, and Gate is going to be the one maybe face-checking this.
He's going to have to check, but he's going to get snared up. The knockup's in there as well. Gate already been ignited. He's going to hop back towards Mash. Might be okay on the other end of it. Keith, not enough bullets. Unfortunately, can't finish off for first blood.
Still, a good job by them. They are going to be able to chunk them out, make the bot lane base once again. And, you know, Fiora is picking up that farm. In mid lane, they do have priority, as you would expect. Froggen is winning this lane, up already 10 CS. And, I mean, it's going to be rough early for Fizz. Fizz obviously does excel later on with the all-ins, but being at melee carry, you're going to have some trouble.
KFO going in. Very nice riposte as well. Just make sure he gets out of the snare. That's a forced flash there on the bottom side. And we're actually going to get the other variation this time. So standard swap back will invert the standard lanes and have kind of one long lane and one short lane.
Yeah, and it's actually KFO picking up the call as well this time. So he's saying, anything you can do, Zig, I could do better. Yep. So he's going to get his chance to shine on this split push. We'll see what he's going to be able to pull off. But Summoner's pretty much back up now for P1, the ones that they did have to blow at the start of the game. So they've gotten away from that. But Fox is opening up a little bit of a gold lead simply just by out-farming their lane opponents. You know, Keith up 10. We have 13 CS up for Froggen. That's pretty nice, and KFO is up as well.
Yeah, once again, Froggen off to a good start in his lane. No real surprises there. Keith also, definitely keep your eyes on him. I imagine he'll be going the Ghostblade build, given that he's got two long swords hanging out.
Certainly.
He's heading towards that direction. We'll see how Slushy handles himself in the lane, though. Definitely just chilling out for a little while longer. Keeping relatively healthy, but going to go ahead and jump on top of that wave and clear it out. Looks like Froggen, not just yet, will make his way back. Happy to keep farming for a while longer. Surprise.
Froggen's always happy to farm.
Yep.
You know, at the All-Star, he actually won with the, you know, in the 1v1s, he was winning on CS a lot of the time and stuff. So he's definitely a guy who loves his farming. Always has been, probably always will be. And, you know, it's a consistent, effective way to like, know that you're going to get strong, right? He always has really good CS. He always is going to be able to have a lot of items, a lot of power in the team fights, and it's less risk, high rewards.
Good flash from Big, but great aggression from Gate. Actually is going to force the 2v2 a little bit more back into P1's favor. All Summoners now up for the duo of Phoenix.
Yeah, smart flash there from Big. You do have to be careful on the Zyra, respecting the ignite from Gate, because if you actually get stunned up there, you get ignited, you're done. And Sivir plus Braum can actually proc that passive so quickly with the auto attack reset. So, you know, the Q auto from Braum, one auto attack into a W reset means that you are stunned and probably dead, as Zyra is really squishy.
Yeah, hard level 5 though. Same level as Sentinel, actually keeping up nicely in farm between the two junglers. Keith though doesn't quite get tagged by Winter's Bite. Good little sidestep there. And Red should go back over to hard. So Sentinel trying to get a bit more aggressive, see if he can't keep tabs on some of these jungle camps. But
yeah,
Sentinel keeping up, which is always impressive versus a Graves.
Yeah, meanwhile, you know, Hard hasn't even based, right? He's just power farming. He wants to go straight to 6. That's likely when we will see his first base, and then he'll probably just pick up his items and ult right back out there, get power farming once again. So, you know, Sentinel did base. He was looking around the map, trying to apply a little bit of pressure. But because Hard did go for this kind of power farming style and got away with it, a little bit of an advantage for him.
Slushie going to get blue buff though, so not going to be felled with the same fate that Pyrion was in game 1.
And here comes Rek'Sai, you know, sneaking into that top lane bush. They're looking to set something up, but Slushie's moving top lane, Sentinel's moving top lane. They are pinged out, but Fox has to be careful.
Oh, Sentinel going in for it, but Big actually going to turn it around. Gets the snare onto Mash only, as it doesn't quite land onto Sentinel.
Keith's going to want it.
David is there, the stun's in. Slushie's going to move for it, and first blood does go to Mash.
Yeah, so a pretty aggressive. A lot of summoners are blown there. Mash flashes forward, uses his heals. Sentinel flashes in. They pick up the kill on Keith, though. That's going to be big in trying to keep this Lucian down. Big's able to get out with his life, but, you know, not the best executed dive by any means. Still, they do come out with the advantage, and thankfully for them, a lot of CS is going to be lost here by Keith, which should help to close that gap because a bunch of waves are actually built up. He was already up 10 CS. Had he collected that, the league could have gotten a bit out of control.
Certainly could have, but instead it is the proactive play from P1 that nets them first blood, and is going to give Sivir the lead there in that particular 2v2. Actually has a Cole, a Doran's Blade, and a BF Sword to match it all in, so feeling pretty happy in the early stages. Echo Fox, so it looks like they might swap things back down, so we'll have a look at this one again.
Yeah, so Sentinel, knowing Big has no flash, just wants to get aggressive. He's trying to make them fight. Slushie coming in for the side, he was always the one that was planned to finish it off. But you see, Keith flashes actually a little bit too late. He needed to flash the Winter's Bite there to avoid that stun. He did reactively flash, but it was after he'd already been tagged, and we saw how fast Mash was able to proc that. Slushie in trouble, though.
That damage, ridiculous there as Froggen with a bit of an assist from Big. Just wipes the Fizz out.
Yeah, nice rotation there from Big, and Slushie gets caught slipping a little bit. Using that E4 wave clear is super dangerous when someone could be around, so he had no idea the Zyra was there. Big nails that root, and Froggen just deletes him with the ultimate.
Yep, Flash unable to be used. Slushie just couldn't get out from the CC chain before he died. You can see he kind of goes back, buys himself a Negatron cloak, realizes that, you know what, that's probably going to keep happening.
Yeah, here comes the TP though. They want to go aggressive onto Keith, and he's been caught, no flash.
Good snare. Keith actually has to turn a fight, and he knows it, but I don't think he can really fight the Swain. He's doing a decent job, actually. Zeke running a little low on mana. Might get Keith out of there, but that slow is brutal, and Gates here to finish him off.
He doesn't want it. He wants to give it to Slushie.
Yeah, it does go in, and Slushie flash Qs for the kill.
I'm not sure if that's actually worth it, if he's going to have to blow the flash for it. I actually think Zig should have just taken it at that point, but they're obviously just saying, hey, this Fizz needs to get going. The Fizz is behind a lot. He's already down 30 CS, and they need this Fizz to be ahead, so they're willing to put that much into giving it to him.
Well, does collect the kill, so nice gold there picked up for himself. Should help, especially as he gets more and more items. Might be able to fight Froggen 1v1. Gate, though, in a bit of bother. As that's a KFO moving in with the ulti. That's going to force a flash out of the Braum. Froggen even down here as well. Going to get some pressure down onto the turret.
Yeah, they have to be careful. They could actually get dove here pretty easily. So Mash needs to clear this out very, very quickly. Does a good job of it. We saw the rotation from Slushie. So he moved down, you know, respecting that dive, being in position to respond. Now going to head right back to mid lane, though. He wants to continue picking up this farm. And you know, Keith is over there by himself, but his team's coming over pretty quick.
And again, feels like Echo Fox moving proactively. Slushie goes in, but doesn't burn the E. Now going to use it as the rest of Echo Fox show up here in the mid lane. Might even start a push here. P1 not quite around to respond just yet, but Sentinel being here is probably enough for now.
I don't know. I mean, these two guys have very little wave clear. Sentinel going to blow the ult, trying to get them out of there, and it's actually going to have to be Slushie dropping his ult as well, just to push them off.
But Hug gets out, and the damage is continuing to come. I thought someone else was on the way. It's only now that Gate shows up. Yeah.
Yeah. No wave clear really on Fizz, which is one of the big weaknesses of the champion, and just grouping up and pushing on him like that, what can he really do? His wave clear is his E. If you E forward, you kill yourself. So there's not much of an answer, and Graves was not able to close the gap, so they both blow their ultimates, not in the way that they would want, but in the way that they have to. Yep,
and again, great map pressure overall from Echo Fox. Do have a slight gold lead here as well, as Zig will return to the top half of the map. And 1v1 against KFO. KFO in the lead right now on CS, about 10 up. And should pick up this wave and actually get himself a bit further ahead, which is nice.
Yeah, he can actually freeze this, which may require a little bit of a jungle attention if he decides to. He's probably just going to hold all those ranged minions and stack up the wave, which is going to, compound that lead because Zig is going to have this getting denied for him. So he has to basically commit to moving up and trying to shove in the wave and try to get it to bounce on the turret. But because it's so far up and he has no turret, he's very scared about where the Rek'Sai could be.
Yep, and you can see KFO does have a tier map, but doing the best he can to make sure the wave stays as far up there as possible to try and deny some back. Rotovator's done for Zig, but Fiora, a very good 1v1 champion, seems to be holding her own just fine here as Keith just burns the ulti. Good block there from Gate, puts up the Unbreakable, but I'm not sure we're done as Sentinel getting chased out as well. Big and hard both behind him, but they're just going to defend their wards for now.
Yeah, they are going to be able to defend that, and one of the changes with the pink ward is it does regen now. So it's trying to prioritize a defense of these warded up positions. It'll actually go back to 4 HP eventually. And the team's going to start up the Ocean Drake, which is quite handy in the early game.
Gate in trouble. Gets snared up. That's not enough to defend, and Froggen's able to take him out. The TP now down in from KFO as he will chase in onto Mash, but he's popped the ulti. He's running for it and does make it back towards the safety of almost his tier 2 turret.
Yeah, Gate a little bit too hyphy there. The rest of the team not in position, and they just turn on him. Yeah, he's Braum. He's got some tankiness, but at this stage in the game, with 4 members all collapsing on him, he's just going to get popped.
Well, Zig did not burn the TP. KFO did cancel his, but didn't want to make it down there. So I don't think Echo Fox feels safe taking the Dragon, despite being a man up. KFO even going to stay for a little while longer. They'll shove a bit here, but again, I think P1 this time are ready to defend. Yeah,
I mean, Zig has to come over because they're so poor at clearing these waves without Sivir that they just need the additional help. The Graves trying to help out the Fizz, even everyone's seeing the top laner having to come down and try to help him out just because they know that the wave clear is so bad from Fizz.
Well, once again, Echo Fox prioritizing the objective control. I'm going to start up this Drake. See if they can't get it for themselves. No Infernal this time, but might want to get it anyways. Sentinel going to get blown up perhaps. Does steal the Dragon out from under them. The Gate now challenges Slushy straight in the middle of the team. He'll be stunned by the gravity field and taken down. KFO wipes off Braum on the other end there as well. And Zig, you will get in for a trade and take out the Zyra, but it's a 2-for-1 plus the Dragon for P1.
Yeah, Zig just came so late. Great steal from Zentinel. Actually got it with the ultimate, I do believe, but it was, if Zig was there actually sooner, look how low Keith is, look how low Froggen is. They're both That's a winnable team fight. And I have to think that you got TP to a really far ward or something happened there. That was a little bit, he just kind of came in too late.
Yep, Echo Fox had kind of already finished the Dragon at that point, or almost done.
Yeah.
As you can see, Froggen going to take this blue buff away now. Do get it for themselves. No Dragon this time, as we'll watch this one again.
Yeah, and as you are going to see here, this is when the Swain already needed to be TPing in. And look at Sentinel, look at Gate. They're already basically dead. So is Slushy. Zig is just now joining in. Look at the health bars on this team. If he's there at the start, this is a one team fight for P1. So once again, yes, they do steal the Dragon away, but you can kind of chalk that up to some good fortune. And their objective control, their response times have just been bad. That is what has been kind of the thorn in the side of this team. It's what lost them game 1. And once again here, this is a fight that should have been smashed by P1. Instead, they kind of just like get out with their tail between their legs. They do steal away the Dragon, but not the best.
Oh, good repose. Gets out from under the ulti. But Zig's here as well. Actually stuns up the Swain on the other side. And maybe KFO can turn this around. No such luck though. Slushy gonna get it.
Slushy with another kill for himself and is gonna be scaling up. And still doesn't have a completed item, kind of working a little bit on a couple different things, but, working towards Lich Bane, wants that Abyssal as well, and Slushy, has been getting some kills for himself, staying relevant, down on farm a lot, but still is going to be a very big assassination threat.
Oh, Mash, that's a bad time. Good spell shield, no! Oh. Not enough, the Death Ray gets it on the back end.
Yeah, that ultimate does so much damage chasing you down, and a Froggen going to pick up another kill. 202 up 30 CS. He is going to be huge.
Yeah, looking good. In fact, Keith also applying pressure on this bottom side. Echo Fox again just playing together exceptionally well in this game. And I think this turret's going down. Zig here to respond. Big going to catch Gate. That was Froggen's also ready. Ulti not going to complete as Gate does flash out from under it. But Echo Fox is pressuring. They'll get this. Zig looking for a 2v1. Does not commit for it. But no more pushing this time around as Froggen and Sentinel Gonna go for a battle. Big's here as well. I'm not sure Sentinel really fancies it, but he's gonna come in for the damage. Brawl multi gonna try and make it happen. Froggen just needs to keep kiting around, but Sentinel looking for the ulti.
Oh!
Doesn't get it though.
He missed the ulti. It was just left there. It may have been enough to take out Froggen. I'm not quite sure, but aggressive plays there from Sentinel. Would have been able to take him down had Froggen not had the flash, but does hold on to, no, his exhaust actually just not quite up.
Yep. Got the flash earlier, I think, though, but now pressure coming in from P1 onto the mid lane turret. Now good ult from Slushie. He's going to find Keith. He's going to dive in for it. Slushie gets a double as he comes back down. And this Fizz is doing work with the TP's back from Echo Fox. Cancelled, I believe.
That is huge for the Fizz. He comes in, he lands the beautiful ultimate, hits them both with the Playful Trickster. So much damage, and that is the big-time assassination plays you want to see out of a mid lane player. And now 4-2-2. He's completed the Abyssal. He's going to be well on his way to completing that Lich Bane as well. And it's only going to get scarier for Echo Fox.
KFO tried to trade, cancelled his TP. Could have maybe defended the mid lane turret, but doesn't get the trade that he was looking for either. Instead, we'll go back and purchase his next few items. Echo Fox still up in gold, but not by very much. And Slushie playing very aggressive this game, starting to give the team maybe a proactive element they were missing before.
Yeah, and so here we do see that replay. Slushie lands the money all onto Keith, and that Playful Trickster comes crashing down, nets him the double kill hard, just barely able to get away. So great stuff from him. And you know, the gold is close, but this is a better game from P1 just as far as they're not bleeding objectives, right? They're fighting for it tooth and nail. They're not down 3 Infernal Drakes, anything like that. So the gold is telling a lot of the story. The next one will be an Infernal Dragon, though, so they're going to have to keep that in mind.
Big fight point coming up, and you can see that mid lane turret doesn't have too much health left, so Echo Fox going to try and push it down. Here we go, hard in for it. Looking onto Gate, but he gets away with the W. Moving back in onto Mash. That turret stays alive as well. Sentinel able to wave clear it up just enough.
Yeah, they do keep it alive, but a stiff breeze is going to knock that thing over, and eventually that standing gold will be collected. But P1 happy to delay that as long as they can. And, you know, one thing that's a little concerning for me is Slushie's making some great plays, but he's not really picking up any farm. I feel like, you know, Froggen has picked up about 40 CS since we've seen Slushie pick up any major farm whatsoever. You know, he's now down almost 60 farm, which is very, very big. So it's great he's getting those kills, but the fact of the matter is he's still behind in gold. You know, 700 gold from Froggen just because of that farm. And he needs to make sure that he's picking up side waves, he's staying relevant because he can't afford to fall behind in experience and in gold. He needs to be snowballing and smashing these guys. But one thing that is kind of worrying for Fox is Big is only level 6, has not been picking up experience almost anywhere. So anytime Fizz even like looks at the guy, he's gonna die.
Yeah.
So this is a lot of free gold.
That's pretty much what happened last time with the tower dive. His Dragon is back up in 15 seconds. There is the Infernal Drake like you mentioned. So they are gonna have to look to try and contest for it. Both teams very keen to fight for it. As Gate eats another snare. Froggen actually looking for the ulti. Gate now gonna just bop away. Back in onto Mash. Ulti forced out by Braun, but Keith might have enough on the ulti. Heal's going to save him. Keith flashed for it and did not get it.
Yeah, I didn't get it, but what was that ult from Slushie? He just threw it sideways into the Wolf Pit, and I don't know what was happening there, but a pretty big miscue from Fizz, who's now down 80 CS, but P1 is pushing in the mid lane. They have to be careful, though. Could get collapsed on. Their support's not there.
KFO feeling confident. Does have a Hex Drinker. Has walked his way down here for this Dragon fight that we assume is on the way. Echo Fox actually looking relatively healthy with the hit points at least, but Keith a little low in mana. Maybe don't want to go straight in for it. Froggen got blue buff though, so not a bad time to try and pick a fight. So it looks like right now team's just going to reset the map and go for the objective later, unless P1 do want to force the issue now.
One good thing for P1 is certainly that Keith has not been having a good game. He's 0-3. And this is kind of like the time to shine on Lucian, is this early mid game around this 1 to 2 item power spike is kind of his best point. Not that he's weak in late game by any means, but this is really his like kind of big moment, is usually around the 20 to 25 minute mark. And he hasn't been able to get too much done. So that is something going for them, but we're definitely going to have to see Slushie, you know, continue to pick up these side waves and try to keep scaling, keep staying really, really strong in this game, because Froggen, you know, has his full Hex core upgraded. He has his Zonias. He has upgraded boots. You know, Froggen is just going to be a team fight menace.
And looks like Fox are trying to force a team fight. Zig, though, actually hanging out. Pretty sneaky little flank. Slushie also being a nuisance in the top side. Does have teleport. Didn't quite notice until now, but that is going to enable him to be split pushing. He's been trying to play catch up a bit on the farm. not having the most successful job, but this is good pressure for the team. See how aggressive Slushie is willing to be. It's certainly made a difference in the early game.
It certainly has, and he's really close to finishing that Lich Bane, and that 2-item power spike is going to be great. Not sure if Slushie's going to want to battle it up against KFO, but he's going to start it up.
I'm going to go with no, because he's losing now. Saw the pitch goes out, and KFO just, that's an easy one.
Slushie, that was brutal. You cannot afford those kind of mistakes. He didn't even use his E. He shoots his fish way over his shoulder, and it almost looks like Slushie's getting a little bit shaken. You know, after that play around the Wolf Pit, he whiffed that all pretty hard, and now the top lane, just a pretty bad misplay in this 1v1.
Well, it's been pretty high for your game long, but remember, it's been a while since you've seen Slushie on the stage. You get subbed in mid-series when your team is down a game. There is certainly pressure in that situation, and KFO, we've kind of been quietly seeing him farm up. Him and Zig are very close on both farm and items. Actually, Zhonya's finished the Ziggs now with that Rod of Ages, so Swain's also quite strong, but we were said, you know, Fiora, when she gets to a point, she can, you know, just do the old Fiora things. Maybe getting there now is Gator gank caught, but also hops back to Mash. He's always there ready, just to make sure Gate can ward safely.
So the gold lead, just about 1,000, not too big. Infernal Drake still on the table for whichever team wants to make the play to take it. First Drake, you know, still in the pocket of P1. They did get that Ocean Drake from that steal by Sentinel, who's been having a pretty good game, 0-0-1, but he's been around the map a fair bit. He's been putting on pressure and kind of like plugging holes, you know, for their mid laner, trying to help wave clear and doing a pretty good job. So actually Sentinel's had a pretty nice first showing.
Yeah, here. I would say the biggest change I've noticed is with Slushie coming in and Sentinel maybe on the Graves, just more aggression and more proactive play from P1. They are still behind in goal, but it's only 1,000. Echo Fox can't really hold their head up too high about that. And with the game sort of at a stalemate now, 24 minutes in, definitely moving through the mid game now. P1 are willing to, you know, apply pressure in the sidelines, be more proactive when they get a moment, and maybe the play doesn't work cleanly every time, but they have gotten some advantages and kept the game competitive, which is important because Echo Fox really just ran them around the map in game one, and P1 have said, you know what, even if we are going to lose, and there's certainly no showing of that just yet because it's far too early to tell. But, you know, if it does happen, we're going to go down swinging, which is important in a best-of series.
Yeah, definitely. You have to have the confidence to make plays. You can't always sit back on your heels, just wait for something to happen because these teams will not just gift you leads. You have to make those for yourself.
And they've been doing a good job so far, but the Infernal Drake is apparently not the center of attention until right now. P1 going to go ahead and take it because Echo Fox had a momentary lapse in judgment, or did they? Now's the time for the other steal. No, Sentinel gets it locked up though. They're going to move in for it. Froggen with a huge ulti, and that's an easy kill.
Yeah, they do get it, but it costs them a couple ultimates, costs them the summoner, and that's a trade I'm happy to take. Taking your jungler's life for that Infernal Drake, it's only going to be worthwhile if Fox can get something off this. Can they pressure the Baron? Can they get some turrets? And that's what it's really going to come down to if that was worth it.
Careful, bit of a menace right now on the Fiora. The stiff breeze you mentioned earlier does finally swing through mid lane, and Careful's back in for it, another 2v1, but Slushie going to try and make it happen. The fish is used for the repose, actually a little early. The flash after it, and Slushie gets it with the damage over time.
Well played there, collapsing quickly on KFO. They're going to be able to take out the Fiora. Get his flash as well is important. So really, really nice job from Slushie on the Assassin. That's what he needs to do. He needs to roam, he needs to collapse with Zig, take out the Fiora, and now it's their turn to have the 5v4. It's their turn to see what they can take off the map because they now have 2 Drakes. The Baron is active, and KFO is dead for 20. That's FTP though.
Very commendable job from P1 to control KFO because you can see the elements of where Fiora can get very out of control in this game.
Oh yeah.
But KFO has been held down well by Slushie. I'm definitely waiting for a highlight 1v2 because it feels like KFO is sort of going through the motions enough times that he can open that opportunity for himself. But so far, P1 have done a really good job keeping that under wraps, and they'll need to keep doing so because Swain, it doesn't feel like he's, especially late game, going to be able to contest Fiora in a 1v1. Fiora is just a little too good at dueling.
Too good at dueling, and one of the biggest things is it actually gets to a stage where you simply can't out-damage the lifesteal that Fiora has in these 1v1s. Swain, you know, even when Froggen was kind of crushing on it last game, actually did less damage than the Maokai on his team. So when there's enough lifesteal, enough MR on KFO, I mean, he already has lifesteal from Ravenous Hydra. When his Maw procs, he gets lifesteal from that as well. So it's really hard to even just put out enough damage. And Swain does really good damage in your first round of spells. It's like, you hit him with the E, you hit him with the Q, you root him, great, that's awesome. But then only your ult is ticking, and all of a sudden the Fiora's health is just going up, and you're like, oh gosh, get me out of here.
Well, we'll see what happens as we move through this one. 27 minutes in, 4-3 in turrets as Echo Fox again still hold the lead both in gold and turrets, but pretty slim at this point, and it does feel like, once again, we're going to set ourselves in for a very objective-focused game.
Yeah, and it's going to be Mountain Drake next time. So a lot more variety this time. Again, it's not going to be the triple Infernal, at least not yet. We do see our boy Slushy split pushing in the top lane, but Fox is moving a big squad up towards that. And you know, Slushy has to be careful. He's such a key component of this team. And if he gets taken out, you know, Baron could be unlocked, especially this late in the game.
I think he got spotted just by a minion there, but looks like he'll sneak out of the way. Echo Fox doing a good job again, making sure Slushy doesn't get too much free time on the turrets. Does have the Lich Bane built up, so he will shred them quite quickly. The KFO sort of causing the same problem on the other end of the map as ulti out there for Big. Going to protect Keith, actually, because that was Slushy coming straight in for it. Did land the ulti on Solution.
Yeah, and once again, that's great. He doesn't have to actually kill Keith. Sure, would you like to? Yeah. But he gets the flash, he gets the ultimate from Zyra. He has a fair bit of CDR already built up. Like, he's already at 30% plus whatever he has from runes. So his ultimate's a 52-second cooldown. Trading that for a 5-minute flash plus the ultimate from Zyra, which is going to be longer, that's great.
Yep, looking good. P1 again, now playing up. Gate seems to be magnetized to the Zyra snares, but he's actually pretty tanky at this point, so it doesn't matter too much. KFO, though, this could be it. The play's finally here, and Hard's going to join in for this one. Sonny's is going to get popped, but I'm not sure Zig can get out of it. The Furor's popped. He's going to flash out of the way as well. Going to try and make it back to the safety of his turret. And that ticket actually is safe enough. And now Slushy's going to try and turn things around. Slushy, though, does not complete. And Big able to take him out on the other side of the map.
Yeah, Slushy actually got caught sleeping. He starts the TP, and he just gets killed off in the top lane by the duo. So pretty messy stuff there. Might have been able to actually clean up the bot lane if he was able to get in.
Well, KFO does not get the kill onto Zig. Swain still showing off that, hey, I do have quite a lot of regen. Not able to get the kill just yet for KFO. Damage not quite there. The Black Cleaver still on the way. Froggen did have to flash as well, as P1 tried to make a play in mid and take him out. So it did not happen in there. But for now, the turret's holding the bottom side as we'll watch this again.
Yeah, so here Slushy backs off. He thinks he's safe. Flash comes in from Big. The calling from Keith. They take out the mid laner very, very quick. And look at that damage.
Yeah.
He didn't even land his E, I don't think.
Or auto.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous how fast he's going to be able to kill, but a bit of a greedy TP. He's not even in the bush. He's kind of far up there, and Big comes up with a nice play. The flash route is going to not only net them a kill, but potentially save them 2 lives in the bottom.
Ooh, Hard straight in for it. Looking for Gate. Seems to be the primary target because he's always running point. Dragging up in a minute, though. It will be that Mountain Drake you mentioned earlier. But Baron also available, certainly at 30 minutes into this one. So team's going to have to start really considering which objectives they're happy to fight over. And the items are coming out on both sides of the rift. Damage is there. We've seen it already from Slushy, but it definitely exists for everyone else on both sides.
Froggen did crest that 100 CS lead in the mid lane, though, briefly, that Flame Horizon. So pretty big deal for him. He's been keeping up his farm the whole game. Plus, he has a lot of kills, so this is a beastly Victor. And yep, we can see a lot of damage coming up from Slushy. We saw that shown off in the top lane against Keith in mid lane when he got the double kill. But at the same time, if Victor lands a laser plus his ult, he can basically do that to your whole team at once.
Yep, and that's always been the problem.
That's crazy.
With Victor. The damage is pretty immense.
Yeah.
Even Zyra going to be pulling up some good numbers as well. So you do see Big with the same build we've seen pretty much all the support Zyras go. So that Leandre's in there after that blue Ice Stone. Zig just trying his own, but KFO again with the Black Cleaver now finished. I think more than happy to take on all comers. I mentioned it already. Feels like the 1v2 is brewing, and Echo Fox with that pressure on the bottom side are going to move in for this Dragon. They're first of the game, and they will be able to get it here, it looks like.
Yeah, no contest going to come out. We don't see P1 in any position to do so. But honestly, I don't think it's the end of the world. It's something that they have already struggled with, though, is being at the right place, right time for the objectives. And now the objectives just got a little bit easier for Fox. So they have to make sure that they are on point, being in position to stop the Barons, or they're just going to find them already gone.
Well, Keith moves into top side. The rest of the P1 are there to protect Slushy. I like what they're doing now, sort of shadowing the split push Fizz. Keith with the Hex Drinker, actually quite a bit safer. I do like both the Executioner's Calling and the Hex Drinker has got very cost efficient because he kind of knows what the problems are.
Certainly, and this is a very strong Graves, actually. Has a lot of CS, he has a lot of farm. He's going to be, a pretty big threat, and and KFO trying to move in for that 1v1, but was not able to proc the other sides. You know, one of the things that is allowing Zig to stay competitive in this is simply that he has good wave clear with the Q from range. He's basically staying out of Q range from them. Oh, but Froggen going in.
That ulti is massive. Froggen, no Rylos just yet. Doesn't quite get any extra CC down, but you can just see the damage the ulti on its own does. Pretty immense.
Yeah, that was like one tick on Mash and he lost half his health. So he's got to be scared, and I'm sure he is. But he is pretty powerful himself at this stage. That is a lot of damage going to be coming out of Sivir.
Ooh, almost.
She's just barely picking up that blue buff.
Good stuff, though. He's certainly going to need it. As the zone is finished. Had it for a little while now. But Echo Fox starting to get a bit more control over this. I think KFO is slowly but surely giving them something they can really anchor to in that bottom half of the map. And P1 not going to let their turrets fall just yet. Echo Fox again, same clean rotations, very safe sort of play, but more than happy to play the map. And they are a patient team, if just this game and the last game are any indicator.
Pretty sloppy from Fox, though, to actually, they're trying to bait Baron right now, say, hey, come check, but there's a pink ward in the pit. They didn't even check themselves, so you got to clean that out. You got to sweep first, make sure you have vision control, otherwise you're just wasting your time. So a mistake there from Fox, and there's no one going to check from P1 because they know they're not doing the Baron, they're just wasting their time.
They're finally going to wander over, I think, and be like, oh, this is why this didn't work. Oh no! Oh,
they don't see it, but Slushie doesn't see them just yet.
Slushie's
actually going to be in some trouble here. He's going to have to run for it.
All right, Slushie, what magic tricks do you have up your sleeve? TP in there, actually, maybe. Hard. Doesn't quite get there. Good Zhonya's zone. Knockup's not going to come in, and Zeke's going to try and turn this around. Slushie, massive damage on the key, but KFO going to go straight in on for the Swain.
But here comes the rest of them.
Out, but looks like on the other side, a good snare there's going to move in, and Froggen will take out Zig. As the Swain goes down, Slushie gets up, but it might cost the team the rest of their life. KFO going ballistic in the backline, takes out Matt. Gate soon to follow as Fiora gets a double.
And this is classic P1. This has been their mistakes all the time. They're not in the right place at the right time. They're not together. They try to pull the trigger on a fight, which, I mean, I think they had no business doing, and now it's going to be the Baron for Echo Fox, as it looks like no one's even sniffing around here, not really even checking it out.
Oh, Froggen. Shuts down any chance of a steal, just wipes Sentinel out from the back of the pit. And they take the Baron.
Yeah, that's just brutal. I mean, Slushie gets caught out. I think if he just reacted immediately, I think he's probably okay. He's going to be very short cool. And he's going to go for the kill, actually.
He wants it. Oh, Zoni's is there. Froggen turns that around, and Slushie, he'll get out. Oh, no, Froggen! He wants it! He actually claims it with the death ray.
Oh, my God. Froggen is just going off. 7-0-3, 100 CS up. What can this man not do?
Well, apparently in this particular series, nothing, because he's been looking great. Pretty much leaving where he left off in spring. Had a great start to summer here as...
Yeah, here's how it starts off. And to me, Slushie just needs to run. He just needs to run and buy time. Run straight to the right, towards your opponent's base, hope to get out with constant ease, high CDR, but instead they commit. They commit to a fight, which is starting as a 2v5 for so long. Zig comes in, but he's going to get picked off. Slushie's already low, and now you have your bot lane flashing into a 2v4. Your jungler's just showing up now. They're just completely not on the same page, and how do you expect to win a fight like this when Fox is all as a group? They already have the poke advantage. They needed to cut their losses.
Gate caught, but not dead just yet. He'll flash out of the way. But Echo Fox just going to take down the turret instead. They're more than happy to get a summoner there. And Froggen's out with the ulti. It's doing huge damage as Zig. This has to stand straight in it. He might even get poked down to death here. Execution's calls it up. Froggen goes legendary. And Echo Fox dived the turret. They'll trade a few back and forth, but they've broken the base.
I think this could be the game. They may push for it. Slushie has no wave clear, and the only real threat to stopping this is Mash, but with Froggen alive, he's such a massive damage threat. I think this is going to be Echo Fox looking to take a clean sweep.
They're going in for it. Slushie going to try and find a way in for a kill, perhaps, and get them off the turret. He actually shuts down Froggen, and Zoni's is out of the way. KFO, who's going to miss that snare, but he'll get the kill. No, Slushie alive for now. Gets another one, but shut down finally by the Fiora.
Yeah, good stuff there from Slushie, and that should extend the game. Picking up those 2 kills. Fox smelling blood in the water, wanted to go for it. Not quite able to finish it off, but it was really close.
I mean, I like the play. It's relatively low risk if you don't win there, I think.
Yeah, they're not going to lose much.
Yes.
But here is that Victor ultimate. And the culling coming in. Great culling from Keith, landing almost every shot. And he just can't even get out of that Victor ultimate because the Rylai's plus the fully upgraded ult means it moves faster and it's slowing you. They just get deleted. Sentinel actually getting taken out by the same one, but This is where it could have ended, went a little bit bad. They actually got kind of grouped up, and Slushie is able to make a good play, knowing Froggen has no ult. Look at that. He landed the Playful Trickster on all three, so not really spread out there as they should have been, and he's able to get even more damage out before he does go down, so great stuff from Slushie. He's been very hit or miss this game, had some really high moments, some really low moments. Yep. But that was a high one. That was good.
Certainly was. And Slushie, again, bringing at least a different element. Certainly an element of aggression to the game here.
Oh, yeah.
For P1. You can kind of tell why they brought him in. He certainly does something.
Yeah, he's making stuff happen, right? And that's something that you can say for him. And sometimes that stuff, it ain't good.
No.
but he's always making something happen.
You don't always want what he's telling you, but he's certainly willing to give it away.
He's a playmaker, and he is a 5-item fizz right now, so this guy is scary. He has shown that he has, huge mastery on this champion. He's been going off, and he's gonna have to get a pick. It's a lot harder to play the fizz in team fights like this because if you mess up once, you're just dead, right? Whereas Froggen can kind of just poke away, throw out damage from the back line. It's safer for him. So it's high risk, high reward for Slushie. We're gonna have to see him pull off a big play and probably get a pick or two if P1 wants to win this game.
Yeah, Echo Fox firmly in the lead at this point. It's quite late again into the game, 38 minutes through. But Echo Fox do find themselves up 6,000 gold. Baron buff has dropped at this point, but Mash may be caught. Keith is going to go in for it once again. Straight towards the enemy AD carry.
Yeah, both summoners blown there. He did get tagged actually by the E from Victor, so he got slowed by the Rylai's. He had to spell shield that. He didn't. And now they're going to pay big time for it. Is they've actually given up the way to their base. So they're over there doing race while Fox is pushing in.
Well, no vision, though, I think. And Echo Fox don't want to play too risky here.
Yeah.
KFO also with the TP, but staying with the team, I think knows that they really need to just win a team fight. Doesn't want even the teleport delay to come into effect for a 5v5.
They've struggled so much with their coordination that I think it's the right call. Have a 4-man unit with Zig, kind of bouncing back and forth, trying to clear out the waves. Leaves Slushie as that lurker, right? He doesn't have TP. Allow him to try to sneak around, try to catch someone. It's going to be on him, and at the same time, Zig, I think he should just be with the squad because they've struggled with that in both teams.
Yep, big wave puts up top though, so Fox I think gonna have to respond.
Yep.
But Elder Dragon also up, and unfortunately those two things are on the opposite sides of the map.
Yeah, and I think honestly, Fox doesn't care too much at this stage of the game if they lose one turret, but Zig could be in trouble here. The Rylai slow is active, and what a culling coming in.
Once at the culling again might be enough, but they can't quite get it. Gate though, caught out in the front lines, is gonna go down. Echo Fox force a 5v4.
What was Gate doing? I mean, Zig was already... His fate was sealed one way or the other. He was getting out or he wasn't, right? That had no effect on the play. Gate dives in there and just kills himself. And now the base could be cracked. This is going to be tough. It's 25 seconds without their support, who is very impactful in these team fights. Sentinel has got to clear these waves.
Already broken in mid, but you can see Zig straight in there trying to clear it out. Good job there. It was actually Big and Keith. Took huge burst of damage on the back end. Slushie threatening with the ulti as well. Echo Fox make the safe play and back away.
Yeah, good wave clear there from P1. Huge that Zig was able to survive, just barely. But Gate, really big overcommittal there to go back in, and we'll see what they can get done. The bot lane has base to try to deal with that wave that was pushing. And, Elder Dragon's still on the table, so Keith wants to get rid of this wave as fast as he can. He wants to get down there, be with his team for what could be a game-deciding fight.
Baron also up in 50 seconds, so we're going to have two huge monsters on the map for these two teams to fight over. Definitely praise Echo Fox for their overall teamwork in this series so far, but P1 aren't far away from taking it out, and Big actually going to get taken down by Mash. He's the one with the crits this time.
Yeah, great play there from Mash, expecting that face check from the support. He gets it, and he cashes in big time, taking out Big, who's going to be dead for almost 40 seconds. This is massive, and we saw Keith was the one who took out the other AD carry last game, which led to them winning, right? Could this be the same kind of play for Mash that gets them a big advantage?
Well, this game again awfully close as P1. Another aggressive play. They're going to go straight for this Elder Dragon.
I like it. It's something that's very risky to contest. If you're Echo Fox, you lose this fight, you could lose a lot. So they are going to have to be careful, but they don't want to give up Elder Dragon without a fight.
They're in the area, and Elder Dragon still has quite a lot of health left, but it is burning down. It will reset, though, as P1 try and keep it interested. Still floating around the 5k health mark, though. I think they're waiting for everyone else. Culling in there is great poke in. Slushy, though, has found the fish on the kid. He flashes back and puts it on the Froggen, and now Slushy going to go in for it. Damage is massive there, but Slushy does take out the Lucian. In the backside, though, KFO's going nuts as he takes out Matt. Cleans up Graves as well. Gets himself a triple kill. And Echo Fox just turned it all around.
KFO just completely carried that fight. 1v3 on the backside. He absolutely destroyed them. They overlooked the Fiora. Slushy with a great assassination to start the fight. It's not enough. Zig is getting chased down now, and this could be the game for Echo Fox. Respawn timers are very long. They're pushing down the mid lane. They're going to try to end it, or at least pick up the inhibitors. Zig is buying a lot of time, though. I don't think they should be able to end it, but we'll see.
There's the kill, and that's the ace. And Echo Fox really just needs to keep any of the wave clear busy.
Oh, they're going to TP for it. They want it.
Yeah, they certainly do. They're going to commit here and try and end the game. Who's up? It's 20 seconds on one, 10 seconds on Gate. This is going to be close.
They should have it. I don't think Gate is going to be enough. The turret's going to be gone, and they can just right-click on the Nexus, and this is going to be it. Echo Fox going to take the first series of the season for them. 2-0.
KFO goes off in the back end of that game and really carries it through. We expected the split push to be maybe the deal breaker there, but it was actually the team fighting from a Fiora of all champions. KFO made it look good.
10-2-1 on that Fiora. Absolute beast. You know, this was not the story of game one, Keith carrying through. This was about Froggen. This was about KFO, and KFO, this is a really impressive performance.